Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of the DU crossover. Today we've got Yogi Barr from River City 93 and Walking 90 podcast, bringing the vibes and chaos to the
I try
DU
to.
crossover. Welcome, Yogi.
What's up, man? What's up? It's a pleasure to be on here. You guys are the new darlings of USL League One. You guys took that mantle from Fort Madison.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. That's one last thing Fort Madison can say that they have over the league.
Yeah, yeah, I know. We come in right with the kits and kind of take that off them, and unfortunately, we're also taking a little bit of the Draw Kings mantle away from them, which was certainly unintended.
I mean, hey, look, at least you guys are capable of drawing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
some kind of solace in that.
Hey, you guys are also good at putting the ball in the back of the net, so we like to take a little bit of that too. So.
Oh man. Oh man.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and just kind of get rolling right into it. Certainly, very thankful to have you on the podcast,
Yeah.
Yogi. I've watched you over on the River City 93 side of things, and certainly Walking 90. That's just an entertaining podcast, right from front to back. It's always some good times
Oh, thank
over
you.
on Walking 90.
Yeah, man. We try to make it have like a college game day vibe where you're entertained, you're walking away with something, learning something, but we also tell a couple of stories, make
Yeah,
sure you're having a good time because like there's more in-depth podcasts out there,
sure.
like the USL show, League One Under the Sea,
Yeah.
Under the Sea, whatever. And so we just found our lane. Like, we kind of tell the in-between stories, kind of have a good laugh about, why is Chattanooga all of a sudden, punching teams in the mouth and winning games?
Yeah.
Or like how was Spokane nicknamed Real Spokane because they have like quality backups that could probably start anywhere in this league.
Yep.
So I would say it's a show more so for the casual listener. That's your more in-depth nerd in USL League One. But I love doing this work.
Yeah, it's fun. It really is fun. And if anyone hasn't heard of Walking 90, get over there and take a look at Walking 90. It's like I said, it's a big mantra of the vibes and the chaos, and it fits USL League One to a T because that is exactly what USL League One is vibes and chaos with just the natural play
Yeah.
of what we've got. Yeah,
It is always funny where new people get introduced to USL League One who are used to like MLS or Premier League or La Liga, right?
yeah,
And the first thing they always be like, "Why are the refs so crap?" And it's like, "Yo, I need y'all to understand first. This is Division 3 soccer. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and this is the training ground for refs that are trying to become pros. So they're gonna make their mistakes here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're probably only gonna have a couple of good fields. I think
Yeah,
us, Portland,
yeah.
yeah, kind of struggling. Greenville, not Greenville, Tormenta, kind of struggling there. Maybe Alta, but like the field's going to vary. The camera call is going to vary. So it's always funny when people who just join USL it's like, you're not you're not used to this.
Welcome to seeing American football lines on fields, and just when you think you're getting rid of one, Greenville, in comes another one, Westchester, and
Oh man,
we're like,
y'all lucked up because back in COVID, Madison couldn't play in their home stadium, so they had to go to another county
yeah,
to play games at, and that's arguably the worst field in USL League One history. Like I've never seen a field that had soccer lines, lacrosse lines, female lacrosse lines. I didn't even know that was a thing.
not me either.
Rugby lines, football lines, and get this Quidditch.
Jeez.
It was a absolute mess, and I'm like, oh, this is horrible.
And
But
then the funniest part of the whole thing is you got internationals. You're coming in going, "What is this?" It's
yo,
like you got to have like a walkthrough before you even start the game. Going, "These are the lines. Pay attention to just this color."
it's so funny, man. Because even like Westchester, when we played them, I think their players didn't know the lines. I think it was might have been their first game there, so and their players didn't know the lines. So when they're kicking the ball out on goal kicks, their players are standing on the football line, like the white line, not
Yeah.
realizing that the yellow line
They got
is for
more
the
space
soccer line.
behind them.
And the balls, it was like 2-3 times. You can see the coach is like, it's yellow, it's yellow. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Welcome to USL League One, everyone.
Welcome to USL League One. Absolutely. So Yogi, just like to kind of get a little bit of a little run through the first three topics. We talked, SGs and the summary, and we're going to get into the matchup. That's going to be August 9th, Saturday, August 9th, 5 p.m. is going to be the Richmond Kickers are going to come visit the Hearts up at Fitzpatrick Stadium and everything that goes with that, and it's going to be some good times. I'll throw it out there. There's some rumors that the Dirigo Union might have a tifo ready to unveil on this matchup. So
That wouldn't surprise me.
keep your
That would not
eyes
surprise me.
keep your eyes open. Maybe a little tifo action. Second one of the season for Dirigo Union.
Oh, okay. See, and that's one thing we don't do here in Richmond.
Yeah.
We don't really have a pulley system for tifos, like to have them like straight up like that.
Right. Yeah.
So what we do more so is banners.
Yeah.
So if you ever look at a city stadium home game, you'll see like a row of banners, and it might seem like the same ones, but trust me, they're like, I think the last time we counted in the shed, I think we had like 70 different banners from across the years of just players, quotes, all kinds of stuff.
Is that like a two-pole type of banner where people are holding on either side, or is it like stretched across? Or
so we used to do 2 poles, but then we realized that, oh, this is costing way more money than we should. So we just do the banner itself and then just tape it over the wall.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so it just hangs there for the entire game.
Yeah, it hangs there the entire game. That way you don't got to worry about, because that's the other thing about tifos. Like, and I had to realize this. So it's like you get 15 seconds of it, and then it's like, all right, so what am I doing with this big sheet? I don't know what to do with this. So then it's like did we cut it up? So then we were like, all right, look, let's just do banners. They're smaller, and then at the end of the season, if we know a player's leaving or a player's had like a magical season, we'll give them the banner. And it's something like, it's not too big, where it like covers up an entire wall, but it's big enough to where it's like they might want to get it framed or something like that.
It'd be like a nice showpiece for them or something somewhere. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Like with those banner sizes, to kind of, if you start stacking them up, like you guys have been around for a while, you start stacking them up. That's a good way to kind of a gift to a player leaving the club. That's actually a really good idea, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the tifos, basically the first one, I'm assuming the second one will be the same. They basically will, because we got bleachers and they got a walkway in front of the bleachers where people are back and forth. So they'll basically bring the tifo down and they'll start it right there at the bottom, and then just hand the top of it to the bottom row, and they just keep passing it back, and it just the tifo goes over top of everyone's heads, and they just hit it with their hands and all that sort of stuff and whatever, and they'll show it for, like you said, probably about 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds, somewhere in that neighborhood. And the first one certainly is reusable with the message. I believe the second one is also reusable, but I will say no more, and we'll all see it.
Forward to seeing it.
We'll see it on the 9th. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun times.
All right.
So we'll go ahead and get into the SG side of things, Yogi. So I know Richmond Kickers, to my knowledge, is the oldest club in USL League One, and dare I say, all of USL.
Yes, we are. We are one day older than Charleston Battery. That owner, Rob Ruker, loves to say we played on a Friday night, they played on a Saturday. And the only reason being is because the team that we were playing couldn't play Saturday. So they was like, can we play Friday? Because we got to work Saturday. And they were like, sure. So, yeah.
So you guys are the OGs of the OGs, as they like to say.
We are. We have outlasted a lot of clubs that have fallen into the soccer graveyard. And it's cool at the same point, but it's also just like, man, we are old.
You're looking at it going, man, there's a lot of people that used to be here and now they're not. And I understand.
It's also weird being older than your team. Like, I'm not talking about like, a lot of these soccer clubs are new, like 10, like I'm in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
And I'm still older than the Richmond Kickers. And I'm like, oh, that is wild.
This is not Europe. This is
Yeah,
not
no,
Europe.
no.
We're, as they like to say, we're not reading the history. We're making the history, right? That's
Man,
how
we are definitely making it over here.
it.
We are definitely
so,
making it.
so, Yogi, can you talk to us a little bit about the SG and in terms of just kind of namesake and how it got started,
Yeah,
and a little bit of kind of the run through from then till now, and kind of normal day in day out operations and what the SG likes to do in and around the community.
yeah. So our supporters group, we're named the River City Red Army. It's kind of a joke. So if you don't know, quick history lesson: Richmond is the home of the Confederacy. Well, used to be home. We're not the Confederacy anymore.
Yeah,
Uh, trust me, there was a whole war about it. They lost. People got freed.
yeah, that's not a
Whole
thing
big thing.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, no. Hopefully not.
yeah,
With
I
this
hear you that.
administration,
Yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, so it's kind of like a running joke. We named ourselves the River City Red Army because people looked at supporters groups as like communist things. So we're like, all right, cool, Red Army. There's a couple of military bases there as well, like
yeah,
Fort Lee and other things like that. In Petersburg, which is a big military community. So we just like, all right, cool. We'll go to River City Red Army plus the River City part. The James River, which is a big river in Virginia, comes right through the city of Richmond, kind of like splits the city into two halves.
hmm
So if you ever come to Richmond, more than likely you're gonna cross over it. And I tell people all the time when they come to Richmond, Richmond is the perfect city for anyone in the United States because in the East End it's gonna feel like Philly. South side is gonna feel like the country. North side is gonna feel like New York, and then the West End is gonna feel like LA. Like just because of the vibes of how everyone is in those certain parts of the city,
that's cool.
it's very different. Yeah, and also like the food here is amazing. Like you can probably wherever you got a taste for, you can find it. You can find like 4 or 5 restaurants that covers it. But yeah, so River City Red Army was founded mid 2010s. I can't remember the exact date because I joined 2014. I think
Yeah,
it was around like 2008, 2009 when they started the Red Army. And pretty much it got started because he actually came to the game last night. RP Kirkland, who used to work for the front office, used to go to like other games and whatnot with the old coaching staff. And the coaching staff was like, yo, we need to have an environment at our games. You know, like we're a good team, but we need to have an environment if we want to make this a long, sustainable thing. Um, so he had to talk with a couple of supporters who were like, strong to go to the game. Like he's a photographer for our team, Richard. There was a couple of others, Scott Hayes, and it was just like, we want to work with you guys to create a supporters group. So that's how I got started. Um, Obviously, it's we don't have any dues, so that's one conversation we've had before in the past. And when you start off as a supporters group, we always like, all right, cool. How can we get the buy-in for it, or how can we, do the things we want to do and have it be covered so people not coming out of pocket for it? Because, like you said, like
yeah,
we're creating a history for it. It's not like this is something that is baked in and being bankrolled.
right.
But River City Army, we don't charge dues. So what we do is we take donations. Everything is pretty much supporter ran. Like we don't have a president, vice president. There's a council of like 6 or 7 members. I'm on that council. There's a couple of others. But we don't make really our jobs is just to be a bridge between the supporters and the front office. So the front office has a natural buffer, so they are not controlling what the supporters group is doing, and then the supporters group isn't getting too out of line to where the front office is like, hey, we gotta, fix this out. So it's kind of just think about it as kind of just um, like a bottleneck. Like we pretty much kind of cut down a lot of the fluff and be like, all right, cool. What needs to be transferred to where things like that. As far as the community, I mean, we do a lot of things, man. Like community book bag drives, mental health awareness stuff. One of our OG members, Doug Doobie, suffered a stroke.
Mm,
I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. And
okay.
around that time, we started to raise money for stroke research and
hmm
whatnot, and raised a couple of funds there. We have a lot of community. I mean, we also do stuff with the LGBTQ plus community. I
Yep.
should know that as a teacher, but I always fumble with like the last letters.
Yeah, a lot of letters
Um,
there.
but yeah, I mean, we if you ever watch a Richmond Kickers game, and I don't know if they catch it during the first part, but you'll always see the um, pride flag flying and whatnot. We have also had the um, trans right flag flying as well.
Hmm.
Even to Juneteenth and whatnot, like we were real big in the marches that were happening here in the city of Richmond,
Hmm.
which was really cool, unique, because to have those marches and the march was really for to take down the Confederate soldiers um, monuments that were on Monument Avenue. Um, and to have a lot of Red Army members be a part of those marches and be the forefront of
Hmm.
it, like kind of
Hmm.
organizing it and things like that was huge. And participating in that. But yeah, we also do like food drives for the local community, things like that. And like I also said, like we're nonprofit as well, so we have a nice community that works with each other. So like if you need help looking for a job, we might know someone that can help out with that. Like I've helped someone find a job in the education field because they were
Hmm.
looking to get back into teaching, so able to help them with that. And we also had people, we know not everyone can afford tickets. A lot of
Right.
the Renown members are season ticket holders, and sometimes we might have a free ticket here or there, so we're able to, share tickets, do our ticket drive and things like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, we are. I would say we are. Is the probably the truest expression of like a Southern tailgate. Have you ever been to like a big football game down in the South?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it feels like.
Yeah.
Where you might be like, I don't know, they look kind of intimidating. It was like you come over and we're like, here's a beer, get some barbecue, hang out. Like,
Very,
yeah,
very welcoming.
very, very welcoming, man. Like we have had tailgates with our hated rivals Fort Madison,
Yep.
which has been some of the biggest tailgates in USL League One. And you would look at the photos and look at the game and be like, these are not these same people.
That's funny. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good. It's good to hear. You got a lot of the helping the community and all different facets of helping the community and what that looks like. Whether,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, from helping people with some, maybe trying to find a few jobs, some people, and word of mouth type thing to
Hmm.
doing helping the community and LGBTQ and the whole thing. And that's what SGs do. And part of kind of what we do in these podcasts, right, is to just try to educate some people sometimes of just what an SG does. And
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, oh yeah, those are the guys that are popping off smokes and yelling and screaming and hollering in the corner, right? It's like, yeah, yeah, that's a small part of what they do, but yeah.
Small part of what we do. Like the other thing too is like I tell a lot of people is like we all got 9 to 5s. Like ain't none of us real
Hmm.
hooligans. Like ain't none of us big rolling this like the Italians and
No.
selling stuff underneath. Now if you are a different breed, my friend.
You are the small percentage.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that up to you. But for the rest of us,
Yeah,
we got 9 to 5s.
sure
So it's
do.
like, what and this is something that I've always believed in. It's something that my dad, before he passed away, always taught me was like, what you do with no one looking matters the most. It's the
Yep.
character. So it's like when I joined the Red Army, one of the things that I really wanted to do was to grow our community outreach. What we did in the community, and that was do like book bag drives or soccer drives or whatnot. And being able to do that and seeing like the SG grow over the years has been probably the most magnificent thing. But I also think the other thing too that makes our SG unique is that we don't have a quote unquote president or like vice president. So it's not like we're voting at the end of the year who's going to be the person to represent us, right? It's kind of like the council, and these are people that were kind of stepped up,
Hmm.
took on the heavy labor. So it wasn't like anyone voted them in, but then they are looking around the SG and be like, all right, who can we take to then have a more leadership role in this, right? And like me, for instance, like I wear a lot of hats when it comes to kickers because not only I'm on the SG, but I also, run a whole podcast and stuff like that. So I'm not able to be in the SG like that.
Yeah.
So like before I knew that I was getting too busy. So I was just like, all right, not being selfish, who can I nominate who can step up and do a great job because I'm not able to, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's how it grows, and you get more people involved, and more people feel like they're owning a part of it and
Yep.
growing it. And we've grown it out to where there's a Latino contingent. If you listen to the game, you'll probably hear the drums and the beats and everything like that. It's amazing. We also have an Afrocentric view of it
Mhm.
and things like that. So it's just amazing, man, to see how much it has grown over honestly the last 3 or 4 years, man. Because I remember the River City, that Red Army used to be maybe 20 people tops. And now I would say it's hitting like 40, 50.
Mhm.
And I mean, people might see that and be like, oh, that's small. That's not a lot compared to,
Mhm.
other leagues. And then, yeah, that's fine. But you're talking about, once again, we're talking about third division soccer
Yep.
in the South,
Mhm.
where I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but football just started.
Yeah.
And
I just
people
get
are in it, man.
I
It's
just got
amazing.
talking to Tim over at One Knoxville, and that was certainly a topic of conversation. Is that American football? They are square in the middle of American football hotbeds, if you will,
Oh,
down in the
yeah.
southeast, right in Georgia and Alabama
Mhm.
and Tennessee and the Carolinas and that whole section. Probably even count yourself as part of
Mhm.
that, as part of that section of the country where American football is king.
Oh, man. I grew up playing American football. Like, granted, I grew up playing soccer and whatnot because where I went to elementary school at, in the distance, I can see City Stadium. And I actually got a picture of me and Lee Caliso, who's the longest senior head coach in Kickers history. But obviously, I am a black boy in the
Yep.
South that is a little bit big.
Yep.
And one day, a coach came to my mom and was like, "We gonna put him on the offensive line."
Yeah, you need to be on the line.
And that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess I'm playing football now.
and I was like, "All right, cool." Like, so I traded cleats in for pads, and that's how it went. But like, as I tell people that is like, and I don't think it has to be one or the other. Like, you have to be a soccer fan, you have to be American football. You don't like you can be a fan of multiple sports. You just have to understand like the differences within the sport and how those affect those communities. So like for us, like our tailgates are gonna look vastly different than to y'all's, right?
Yeah,
Because like up there in Portland, Maine, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like y'all are really the show up there
yeah, yeah.
when it
We
comes
are.
to sports. I mean, maybe you talk about Boston and further down the line, but like up there in Maine, maybe outside of Maine football, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are really the show 6 months out the year.
Yeah,
Whereas like here, like we have to compete against baseball. We have to compete against American football. We have to compete even against NASCAR, which is weird. Like,
yeah, yeah.
so it's different, man. So when you're able to pull in 4,000 plus into a soccer stadium in the city of Richmond, it speaks volumes. Because let me tell you something. Like on the local news, high school football gets more coverage than the Richmond Kickers.
Yeah.
Just how it is.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it was for us on the front end of things, at least, until we started making some noise, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden the hearts start bubbling to the surface when it comes to the local news and certainly the papers and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
in terms of what we have to compete with here in the Portland area, there are some minor league basketball teams and baseball teams and hockey teams and stuff like that we do compete with. And as far as I'm concerned, the Hearts have quickly kind of surpassed them.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that we've got going on is basically up in Bangor, Maine, with the UMaine ice hockey team and football team and that sort of stuff. But it's kind of like not really competitors per se, because it's kind of like a whole different thing, right? Where you're
Yeah.
talking college sports versus professional sports, and but yeah, we are we are doing well in our first year up
There you go.
here. We're enjoying the launch pad that has been the USL League One and what the Hearts have done, and that'll level off. It'll certainly level off here at some point. We certainly hear it every once in a while that yeah. You guys are in your first year. You just wait until year two and year three, and we'll
Yeah,
see.
we waited till the
We'll
heartbreak set
see.
in. Waited till. the playoff heartbreak sets in. You're like just crippling depression for 2 months. You're like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But as far as SG wise for the
yeah.
Hearts, I mean, I'll just kind of give you a quick once over. We are actually SG is actually older than the club.
Mhm.
We were around when the rumors started, type deal, and it was kind of a slow build for the SG and even for the Hearts, honestly. From idea to actually kicking a ball, we were somewhere in that 5 year mark. Um,
Yeah.
so part of the success that we're seeing is all pointed to that slow build and being able to sit out with the community and ask what they feel professional soccer should look like and for game day experiences and all that sort of stuff. Um, I think that is a reason why we have the numbers we have. That's why we have, as far as season tickets, we have over 2,000 people on the wait list to get
Oh
season
wow.
tickets. Um, I think it's a
Yeah.
reason why we have over 640 paid Dirigo Union members to the SG. It's a small $25 fee to be part of the Dirigo Union. I know you talked about, you guys don't have currently any paid dues per se,
Yeah.
but it's all on the, if you want to donate and all that sort of stuff. But that's kind of what we have over on the SG side of things for the DU. But certainly plugged into the community like any SG should.
Oh,
Just
boy.
the other day, there was a foot race there in Portland, and a few of the Bandits, which is our band members, they call themselves the Bandits, and like probably five or six of them went over and had the Dirigo Union supporters banner in front of them, and they had some drums and stuff like that, and they strategically placed themselves like 2/3 of the way through the race when things are probably starting to get heavy for some of the runners. You're starting to feel those legs a little bit; those lungs are starting to burn. And they were there as kind of support to kind of lift them and get them to kind of keep pushing through and try to finish the race in their best
Right.
time and all that sort of stuff. Uh,
Right. Right.
so that was some of the things that the SG does. There's many other things. We do have a small futsal park in Portland, Kennedy Park, and a lot of the kids will just show up as you are and play some futsal. And SG and even the Hearts organization is very heavily involved with Kennedy Park, and people just will show up, and even in Maine, show up year round. Get out the shovel some snow, and keep playing.
There you go. There you go. That's
um,
always the fun part.
yeah. So certainly a hardy bunch up here, and they don't miss too many days on the futsal court, and it's fun to the kids have got a place to go and play futsal and express themselves through soccer and also building community and networking with different kids of all different walks of life coming in and pulling together around soccer, and that's kind of really a lot of what
Yeah.
the SGs do, and what honestly from what I have seen so far, my perspective, I've been watching USL League One for the last couple of years, knowing the Hearts were coming in, getting the lay of the land, and here it is, start of halfway through, I should say, year three, and that seems to be um, a big talking point and a big priority for USL is making sure that you are, as a club and of course as an SG, to be embedded in the community and being very active in the community.
Yeah. I mean, but it really comes down to, I think the biggest thing is for USL League One is to make itself community oriented. Because I mean, like, if you go around and look at any Division 3 club around the world, I mean, that's what they are. They're community oriented because they're not getting the media rights deals. They're not getting the big market transfers or the big name players and things like that. So I think, I mean, honestly, like if I was in charge of creating a club in USL League One, I would put it in the DMV because I'm tired of everyone getting a rival that is within 3 hours of them. It is annoying. But outside of that personal grievance, I mean, it's smart. Like what y'all guys did is absolutely smart. It's the way it should be done. it should be built in the community, right? It should be based on those supporters. Yeah, it's cool that you guys are being mentioned on CBS Galasso and Patrick Dempsey is your owner, and that you guys are getting all these fanfare and stuff like that. But like you said, like that's year one, and when that stuff wears off, and the things start happening, and
Yep.
God forbid, like the losing streak happens,
Yep.
and you guys aren't scoring, people are still willing to come to the stadium and be part of it because they're part of that community. It is something that they look forward to. It's not a chore,
Right.
right? Like Richmond hasn't been great for the last 2.5 years. And even though I am frustrated as a Kickers fan, I'm still going to pay my season deposit in the year because I enjoy going to Kickers games. I enjoy being there with the Red Army. I enjoy being there with my friends. And that's honestly what it's about. Like, soccer aside is only a 90-minute game, but the people that you're there with is you're building lifetime bonds with. And sometimes you can't get those bonds back any other way.
Yeah. And that you're underlining perfectly. Why an SG and a club should be and is so important to be embedded in the community is all
Yeah.
of what you just mentioned. And the club and the SG can help lift the community, and it can certainly work the other way around when the club may not be doing so well, and sometimes even the SG is not doing so well.
Yeah.
The community can help on their end as well, and it's a nice triangle of humanity, if you will.
Yeah.
If it's working right, it supports all angles, right? So, um, no, it's good to hear, and certainly move on into our next topic with the club. The club, basically the summary so far this year, from start to where we currently are, present day. For the Hearts, basically, if we're just talking to the league season. It was a slow build yet again. So we go from the good part of why we have a slow build to we understand why it was a slow build. We're year one, right, for the
Yeah.
club. So we got we had to hire a coach and we had to hire a whole front office and we had to hire every single player on the team and we're like, yeah, we got it. It's gonna be ups and downs for the first half of the season. We got it. It's okay.
Yeah.
We got you back. It's fine. It may not look pretty for a while, but we're here. We got you, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, it could have looked worse on the front end of the season. We had a lot of draws and that sort of stuff, and we scratched out a win or two here and there, and yeah, we had some losses. But as we sit today, I think we've got 4 losses on the season for 16 games in, which for a first year club, I'll take it. That's not that bad.
No,
Um,
it's good.
and but we, as we mentioned before recording, we love draws. We do a lot of drawing up here in Portland. So it's just kind of a fun stick. We always just keep poking at. We're battling Forward Madison for the mantle of the Draw Kings here in USL League One. Currently tied, 8 draws apiece, but there's a third team that has now come into the picture.
Mm.
Hello, Charlotte Independence. 7 draws so far this year. 4 straight draws have brought him into the picture of the crown for the Draw Kings of USL League One. So Charlotte Independence is joining the fray. So we welcome aboard. We'll pull them right in. We'll set them up. Nice throne. Put the crown on their head, and hopefully we can get a few more wins in the win column. And we'll say, "You guys have fun back there." But
Appreciate
until this past match, we actually were just for the first time in a playoff position.
it.
We
Yeah.
were in 8th place, and we had a loss away at One Knox. The score line was 1-0, which I predicted, but it was in the Hearts direction, and it was a 1-0 in the One Knox direction. So we all knew it was going to be a physical matchup. It was the first time when they come up here to Fitzpatrick Stadium. The most tackles, the most fouls, the most yellow cards for the Hearts was in that match against One Knoxville.
Yeah.
So we were not surprised to see a lot of that repeat itself when we went down to One Knox in the heat and the humidity and the way those two teams play. we knew it was going to be rough and tumble type of game, and it certainly was. And basically, they scored a beautiful, beautiful goal from some 25, 30 yards out, and just caught the inside of the post and hit the back of the net, and that was the only goal that scored.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so in retrospect, for the summary for the Hearts, I think we've had a very fair first half of the season. A lot of learning, which we would certainly expect from a first year team. We've got a lot of parts of our team that is working well,
Mm-hmm.
um, but as most League One teams, we have trouble with consistency, and we are a very young team, which is also in addition to the consistency issue. We've got, I can think of 5 or 6 different players right off the top of my head that this is their first professional year. They just got out of college, right?
Yeah.
So from this time, from the start of the season till now, they've basically played 2.5 college seasons, if you will. So
Man,
the
that
risk
sounded like us with all the youth we got here.
the risk of these college players hitting the wall is a real thing.
Yeah.
And certainly Coach Bobby Murphy with his past, with academies and such, very aware of this and leaning on his veterans, if you will, to and his staff to help them along and make sure they're doing all the right things to keep their bodies moving in the right direction, getting the rest and that they need, and all that sort of stuff. So it's a chore. It's also a learning piece, which is it's part of what the staff and the veteran players and the coaches are supposed to do. It's all part of the plan, as they like to say. So we have seen young Titus Washington, our striker,
Mm-hmm.
actually find his shooting boots as of late.
There you go.
Um, He's actually in the running for Player of the Month for the month of July. I took a look at the polls real quick before I jumped on. Looks like he's third, a little distant there from the top, but still in the running for a Player of the Month. So really great to see Titus finding his shooting boots and getting some goals as of late. Big weight off his shoulders. You could just see it. The weight just kind of melt away when he had his brace against Greenville, and hope to see more of that continue. And that's basically the summary for the Hearts.
There you go. I mean, if you look at it from Richmond's perspective, man, all right, let's get started with this. So right now we sit outside of the playoff line on 16 points. Hasn't been the best.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't won a home game since April 9th. Saying that makes me want to vomit in my mouth.
Yeah, that's rough.
Uh, I mean, we alluded to earlier, like we have a potent offense that can score. Josh Kirkland, Darwin Esmo is working his way back, but the defense has just been leaky.
Yeah.
It hasn't been the best. I mean, we are starting sometimes up to 3, 4 teenagers in the back line. That's including goalkeeper. So Snet an academy product. Simon Fitch, he's an academy product, but he's older. He's
Mm-hmm.
been around the team for 4 years, but he's 20. I think Fitch is 24, 23, one of the two. Griffin Garnett is 20 years old, and Beckett Howell is 20. Um, so, I mean, that's the defense. The offensive part of the side, which is probably the side that gives kicker fans any kind of hope, is
Mm-hmm.
Josh Kirkland. I'll throw him in the academy product realm, but he has 6 goals in a year. Um, Old and true. When he does call it a career, we will probably sob like it's nobody business. But Mister Emiliano Terzaghi, the 3-time Golden Boot winner, 3-time MVP, um, we call him El Rey, the King. He's been a little bit hurt this year, but he is. Kickers fans will love him.
Yeah.
Like at this point, it's like who could I compare it to? It's like John Elway in Denver. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna tell you when he's retired.
I like it.
Like you don't force him out. He tells you like, all right, cool, I'm done. Yeah, I'm with Elliot. And he just never returns. Like that. That's who Tajagi is. Because like even like last night, we're losing the game, and there's a moment where I'm walking around because I'm taking photos, and there's a moment he's gonna sub down. I think it's like the 80th, 84th minute. I can't exactly remember when, but you would have thought like we just scored the way how the crowd reacted seeing Terzaghi get announced to come onto the field. That man still got it. Darwin Asmal is a great player as well. He's working his way back. Middle Soyford, Aiden Bill are working their way back for injury. Really, just the kickers were hurt like for a month and a half. Just
Yeah.
couldn't win games. Nothing was going right. But even before that, just the defense was leaky. So I'm trying to give y'all hope, but yeah, this team is working its way back. It is tough too because not only do we have y'all on the ninth, we got to replay a game on the 13th midweek against One Knox, and then we got Tormento on the 16th. So
Mm.
this is like a tough week for Richmond.
Yeah,
Once
sure is.
again, you know,
Crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, so we know all too well about those short weeks. Luckily, we did most of ours on the front end of the season, where we're coming out of the Open Cup matches and flying all the way to Spokane and and having a match out there, and then coming all the way back to the East Coast and having another cup match, and then flying down to like Georgia and
hmm
down the thing down there in Statesboro, then back to the Northeast again. It's like, yeah, we logged on some miles on the
yeah.
front end of the season.
Trust me, you will in this league.
Yeah.
You will have some frequent flyer miles in this league.
But so going into the kind of wrapping up the summary there
Yeah,
is I think the both of these teams are kind of just kind of headed in the same direction, but certainly had a different front end of the season. Certainly, health is always an issue at this time of year when it comes to the clubs. Um, for currently for the Hearts, in terms of health, we've got some knocks and niggles here and there. Um, we've got we've got I think we've got Southern coming back from an injury that has just got a few minutes. He's another college player that's first year pro. So he's not quite 90 minutes fit yet, I don't believe, but he's kind of working in here a little bit here and there. Um, we have Patrick Langlois, which
hmm
is probably a name that rings true to some USL League One veteran watchers. He was the number 6 for Northern Colorado Hailstorm last year, a big defensive presence, and he's on the Hearts as well. And he had an ankle basically go on him there, like an ankle sprain, and he's just starting to come back into it now. I think he's had a couple games now where he's subbed in. We do have one player that was out for the season, ACL. That was Jaden Jones Riley, our right back. Very, very early in the season, went down. It was a shame. He was actually putting in some really good minutes for us.
hmm
Hopefully we can see him come back next year and play with us again. I would like to see a very healthy Jaden Jones Riley and how he impacts a Hearts team.
yeah.
I'd certainly like to see that. Um, but we can go ahead and we can move on to the matchup. Unless you got anything else injury wise for
Uh,
Richmond.
no, just I need every Richmond Kickers player to be wrapped in bubble wrap. That's all I want.
I hear
Bubble
you.
wrap.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We need him healthy for this stretch run here, the second half of the season.
Oh man, do we ever? Do we ever?
So going into the matchup for Hearts of Pine and Richmond
hmm
Kickers, um, I'll go ahead and kind of go through the starting lineup, I guess, here for what I would expect to see for the Hearts of Pine, which should be relatively easy because Coach Bobby Murphy, since we've gotten to approximately mid-season, just before actually mid-season, has seemingly locked in his 11. He took
Yeah.
the first half of the year and kind of plug and play and shift and move and pick up some new players and all that sort of stuff. And I think he's gotten to a point now where he's like, this is my best 11. And this is what I'm going to play. And it's going to be consistent game for game. Unless I have injuries, this is pretty much who you can expect to be on the pitch, the starting 11. And I don't believe it has changed. I'm going to say probably the last three, maybe even possibly four matches. So basically, between the sticks would be Hunter Morse.
Hmm.
That is our goalkeeper and probably in the running for the top three keepers in USL League One in terms of saves and letting goals going into the back of the net. If you take and kind of measure out those two columns, because as we all know, saves isn't always the best stat to look at for a goalkeeper. Sometimes
No.
that means you're getting peppered, and you've let in three or four a match, and it's not the best one to.
Or sometimes, like I remember the season where Carroll won goalkeeper of the year because I think he broke the record in saves, or he set the record.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went back and looked at some of those saves, and they're literally like,
Roll.
it is like that's not a save. Like he just caught it. But
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I hear you. I hear you. Sometimes those saves are real low and low on the needing any athletic ability, if you will, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, Hunter Morris will be between the sticks for the Hearts of Pine. Over on the left center back is Nathan Messer, and he came to us from Rhode Island. So he,
Okay.
he he basically was over at the championship side, Rhode Island FC, and for whatever reason, just wasn't fitting into the system that they wanted to run. I think they wanted a little bit more of a wingback style type of player, and he's seems to benefit a lot more as your classic, you know, left cornerback, left left outside back on a back four,
Okay.
right? That's kind of where he shines, and he does like to get forward, up and down, but he
Yeah.
wants to be on the left side of a back four, and certainly a player to keep an eye on. He's second in the league in crosses. Certainly loves to get up there and cross the ball into the box, and will sometimes take an inward run and run in inside of Ollie Wright and even attack the box every once in a great while. But most of the time, you're going to see him out on the wide end of things.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
on the so just the right side of him, our left center back is young Kamali Green, another college grad from last year, first professional year, and wears number 66. Left-footed center back, really good with the ball at his feet. Sometimes you'll see him starting play from the back line. Kamali Green, he's about like 6'2", so he's got a little bit of height to him.
All right.
Um, so to the right side of him is Sean Vinberg, wears number 7. He's he just finished up last year with Fuego, and they had kind of like a late season run, if you remember correctly.
Yeah,
And
I remember that scene.
yeah, so he was kind of a big piece of that, stirring up the defense. And Coach Bobby Murphy saw that and brought him in, and he's definitely running the back line for us. Sean Vidberg wears number 7, right corner, right center back. The right outside back is Quinones, Colby Quinones,
Okay.
and he's a Puerto Rican player. Plays for his country for the international side of things, and certainly as of the last 5 or 6 games, we had a little bit of a battle there. Like I mentioned before, Jaden Jones-Riley went down very early in the season, and we were trying to use some of the players that we've got on the team to try to kind of fill that hole between Colby and Mikey Lopez, which is a midfielder we'll talk about here in just a little bit. And we actually went out and got Mo Mohammed,
Hmm.
and they were kind of going back and forth a little bit, but Colby ended up solidifying that position for himself and has been our starting right outside back probably for the last, like I mentioned, the last probably 3 or 4 matches. So that's the back line for the Hearts. Um,
Okay.
Hearts are going to basically play in a 4-2-3-1. So that's typically the formation that you're going to usually see us in. There's always variations of that, of course,
Yeah.
but that's our primary formation is a 4-2-3-1. So our numbers our sixth player, our holding midfielder is Mikey Lopez. So he came from the Birmingham Legion. He spent like 6 or 7 years down there with the Legion. It was actually their first captain when they first came into the league. He was captain of the Legion. Spent a little time in MLS. He was drafted into MLS. I think he played with Kansas City, and I think he also played with New York City there for a little bit. Um, so he was on a team that won a cup. So he's kind of got some MLS cups in the trophy cabinet, so to speak, and is our captain for the Hearts of Pines. Whatever he's on the pitch, he'll be wearing the captain's armband.
Okay.
Number number 5, Mikey Lopez. Um, to his left, basically the number 8 is Michel Poon-Angeron. He's a Trinidad and Tobago international. A real good number 8, a little bit of everything. Good on defense, good on distribution, and good on attack. Um, Michel Poon-Angeron is basically one of those players that kind of just links the front end and the back end together quite nicely, and is certainly a highlighted player that I would suggest. Some of the Richmond faithful to kind of keep an eye on would be number 8, Michel Poon-Angeron. Really good at kind of snuffing out any attacks through the center of the field, and also really good at setting up his attack in terms of threading passes through the back line and over the top of the back line and that sort of thing. So Michel
Okay.
Poon-Angeron is our number 8 and wears number 8. So that front 3 that is just behind the striker on the far left hand side, wears number 10, is Ollie Wright. He had a hat trick against Union Omaha.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that hat trick.
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, that's Ollie right there, and he certainly has got, like Coach Bobby Murphy said, he's got 2 good feet, and sometimes he hangs back a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of wants to try to, maybe take some shots over the top of the defense, and he wants to curl it and all that sort of stuff, and Bobby was just trying to get him to attack a little bit more and get him behind the defense in that Union Omaha match, and he certainly did, and certainly paid off for himself with that hat trick performance. And the previously mentioned Michel Poon-Angeron was dropping in passes just inches over the top of the head of the defenders. It had enough backspin on it where it was checking
Yeah.
up when it hit the ground, so all he had to do very little to control it
Okay.
when he got in front of it. And then, of course, his finishing ability within the box, the 6-yard box, certainly paid off for him. And that's just that type of combination that is available. I haven't seen that in a couple of games, but it certainly is available there to the Hearts. So certainly be aware of that as a possibility.
Okay. Okay.
Our
That's good.
Cam, our attacking midfielder, number 77, is Masashi Wada. He is a Japanese player from Yokohama, Japan. Played up and down the J League over there in Japan, and some 26, 27 years old, and decided it was time in his career he wanted to come to the USA. And we've got a goalkeeper coach that is also Japanese descent, and they had an organic relationship. And he's like, Yuta. He came from the New England Revolution too,
Okay.
and he said, "Hey, Yuta," he's like, "I'm kind of thinking about coming over to the U.S. What do you think?" And he's like, "Let me tell you about the Hearts." And Masashi liked what he heard, and over he came, and he is all of a number 10. I would like to hope he stays with the Hearts, but man, he's getting some looks. So
Hey, that's how it goes. Hopefully, you
yeah,
guys get a little profit from it. That's the most
yeah.
important.
I think we're realistically, we're probably going to see him move up to the championship somewhere. But hey, that's part of being a League One team, right? And you got to
Yeah.
enjoy them while you got them, and certainly appreciate them while they're here, and try to be a fan of them when they move up the league or something like that, right?
Most definitely. That's how it goes.
And so to the right side of him is JT Kamara,
Okay.
short in stature, very very quick on the feet, a dribbler of the Hearts of Pine. Yeah, very stop start oriented type of player. Likes to break ankles. Likes to dribble into the top of the box. He's left footed. So if he can get a half a stride on someone, don't be surprised if he pulls the trigger and tries to curl one in. Um, That's our JT Camara. Also is usually pretty good on the set pieces, left footer. It's either going to be him or Messer. You'll see for a left-footed perspective, standing over set pieces, and of course up
Okay.
top, at previously mentioned young Titus Washington, just coming up on plane. We're hoping when it comes to the finishing ability there in front of net, and we would like to see him get on a run of games of a goal here and there, and two goals, or so on and so forth. Try to keep that confidence high. He certainly is a classic number nine, 6'1", 188, good back to goal, playing it off for attacking midfielders running into the box.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot in his aerials yet, although he is going up and competing. We haven't seen a lot of finishing on the aerial side of things there for Titus, but if he can keep going with what he's doing with his feet, we'll take what header you can have as you get it. It's not a big deal. As long as it goes in the back of the net. I don't care if it's with your foot, your chest, your head, your hip, your knee, whatever. It's going in the back of the net. We're all happy. And
Right.
then he certainly will probably be our striker for when we play you guys on the 9th. So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of the quick rundown of basically starting 11 formation and such, and kind of what I think you'll probably end up seeing for the Hearts. Now, I will mention we just signed a Norwegian player, a young Norwegian player that
Okay.
he was also basically fresh out of college, and he went over in the Division Two over in Norway, and he was just getting in his first half season over there. So when I start talking about college players like Titus Washington and Kamali Green and all those guys, he basically would fit right along with those guys trying to get into his first year as a pro, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I'm going to attempt to pronounce his last name. I think I've got a good pronunciation. I went back and looked at where he was over in Norway. And his first name is easy. It's Noah. He wears number 99. And his last name, I believe, is pronounced Kifta. So I think it's Kvifte is how it's spelled, and I believe it's pronounced Kifta. So
All right.
so like I said, he's 6'3". So we got some height with him coming into the side. Our tallest front forwards were basically both Titus, and we also have Azad Biati, which is also out right now. Um, so it's kind of a guessing game when we're going to see him back. So I think it's why we're going to see Titus, and Noah did come in as a substitute against
Okay.
One Knox. And he kind of got on the ball a few times. We were having a tough time getting it into the attacking end. We were
Hmm.
just having an off night with our midfield, and we were playing in our own end often. But when we did see Noah with the ball at his feet, he was attracting attention. Three defenders were swarming to the ball as soon as he touched it. So
Yeah.
if we see more of that, it's all going to come down to trying to react with some quick passes because he's going to be creating some spaces when he gets the ball. If that type of attention continues, right? And then if we can see some quick passes from Noah and get some of the other Hearts players involved, that could be a plus. So
Okay.
um, I might as well throw this in. The corners, we are unfortunately uh, have not put a single goal in on a corner yet this year.
Well,
So
that probably would change on the knife.
Yogi's like, don't worry, we got you. We'll fix that for you.
No, don't worry. It's always
So
bound to happen.
I think some 60, 68 corners. I think someone posted on the Hearts Discord or Dirigo Union Discord, I believe, and you have to put one in. So Noah hopefully will help us out with that. And it's not like we just need to be like this potent corner kick team or anything. It's not what we're
Hmm.
looking for, but boy, it sure would be nice to just kind of float out the fact that we can actually hurt people on corners every once in a while. That would be
Yeah,
that would be nice.
that would be nice.
So that's what I got, Yogi, for starting 11 and the whole rundown, and kind of throw it over to you for Richmond.
All right, so man, I gotta imagine. I am a tactical mastermind, but you, my friend, you have outdone me. That is in depth. As surprised you didn't give me shoe sizes at some point. Um,
I'll get that one for you next time, Yogi.
there you go, there you go. We gotta look. This is Division 3. We gotta find everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I mean, if you go back and look at Richmond last game, they played a 3-5-2. Really harking on the defensive weakness or fertility of the squad, so trying to beef that up a little bit. And there's a new formation. Normally, this team would normally play a 4-3-3, 4-4-2, 4-1-4-1, but they're going with the 3-5-2 right now because of the injuries that they've occurred on the wings. So they're trying to manufacture that, be a little bit more direct. I think you'll probably see James standing in goal. You see a back three of Marcel Large, who is the center back we got in from Spokane Velocity. Um, Clyde Chella and probably Griffin Garnett is your back three, I would assume. Out on the wings, Maxi Shinfeld, a 34-year-old Chilean. It's not even fair to call him a left wing back. It's really saying like he's a left creator, the way how he
Okay.
plays out there, because he does so much of the creation of getting up on the wings and then act as a winger and getting the ball out wide. You got Simon Finch, who's your more normal right back. He's a little bit more defensive on that side. So as you see them play, the shit will kind of shift to where defensively it might be four in the back, but then attacking wise, it also to that three with Simon Finch kind of tucking in a little bit more. Midfield two is the captain, not Clyde, Dakota Barr Nathan, who played his college soccer here at VCU. He's a center back by heart. So we always joke and say that he's a center back playing defensive midfielder. He can do a job there, but he's real hard as a center back. But then you got Ryan Bear, who just signed from Tacoma Defiance on a loan. Real gritty midfielder. I think he's still learning his game because I don't know exactly how he fits all the time, and I'm still like trying to figure out like where does he best fit in. It's hard to tell, especially with the losing we've been going on. It's hard to tell about a lot of guys right now.
Yeah, that makes it tough.
Yeah, right. And I mean, and also inside of that, you have Neil Soifer, the German. He's more of your box to box midfielder. He's not the creator, but he's the guy who get the ball to the creator.
Yeah.
And up top, you have, I mean, you were talking about Emiliano Terzaghi, but you also have Josh Kirkland, who has 6 goals in a year. Landon Johnson, who just scored his first goal, who was a Youth Academy product. And we have other players like Darwin Espinal, who's coming back. He scored, I think he was in the top 3 of scoring at one point this year. You also have Aiden Bellhart, uh, who's missed some parts of the season this year with injury, unfortunately. So to get him back, I mean, to be honest with you, we haven't had our true first starting 11 at any point this season because of injuries, injuries, and injuries. So last night, the last 20 minutes was the first time this year we had Darwin Espinal, Emiliano Terzaghi, Aiden Bellhart, and Neil Soyford on the field all at the same time. That
Yeah.
was the first time this season. That's including preseason. So like, and you could tell there was a lot of rust between those guys, and granted so, like they're coming back from long term injuries, right? Um, so to get those guys up to speed and get them going quickly would be tremendous.
Yeah. Yeah, getting a consistent starting 11, much like the Hearts have just started doing. We had the same issue early on. It was certainly something that was talked about from Coach Bobby Murphy. Is we just never seem to get our best 11 out there. There's always something happening with one of them, whether it be injury or whatever the case may be, yellow card suspension or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we could never get our starting 11 out there for more than like a half a game or a game or something like that. And I think consistency certainly has a lot to be said about getting a good run of form going, right? And
Yeah,
it
100%.
It sounds like you guys might be right about at that point now where you just finally now are getting your best starting 11 on the field together.
Yeah, and I think that's been like I think there's been the crux of the issue. You haven't had your full starting 11 for various parts of the season, and I think that blends into other things because when you don't have your full starting 11, you are kind of plugging and
Mm-hmm.
putting in parts that don't necessarily fit. Like, does this part fit here? Did this part fit here? And if you build a structure wrapped around your starting 11 and not around the whole team, you kind of run into issues with that,
Yeah.
and we've seen those issues pop up this year, unfortunately, for the
Yeah.
Kickers.
Different players have different strengths, and you go to put them in there, and they're not going to be the same as the original starting player, and then you may have to
Nope.
cover him in different, defensive responsibilities, and that may
Mm-hmm.
end up kind of like messing with your formation a little bit, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's just a domino effect sometimes when you don't have your best 11 out there.
no, 100%. It is not fun. I don't recommend it for anyone.
It makes it tough. It makes that
Yeah,
soccer thing that's already hard even that much harder. That's for sure.
for real. For real.
So Yogi, I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah.
ask you.
All right.
So we've got the starting 11 and the formations kind of out of the way. Just kind of want to see how you kind of see this thing framing up. So
Oh man.
coming to Fitzpatrick Stadium, some 5,700 Screaming Hearts fans, putting some noise down there on the pitch there for Richmond Kickers. Of course, they're a seasoned club, and they've kind of been there, seen that, done that. Got the trophies to prove it. And you talk about having their starting 11 for the first time, starting to be on the pitch, and maybe starting to get a game or two under their belt,
Yeah.
and maybe trying to get a little momentum, right, and start maybe making that climb back up to that top 8 playoff spots, right? Um, maybe a win here and a draw there, and just kind of making your way up. And what I've seen in this league is you win 2 matches and you jump like 4 spots
Yeah.
just by winning 2 matches. So just because you're outside of the top 8 doesn't necessarily mean your season is basically done. We've got more.
No, it
We
doesn't.
got more than enough matches in front of us where, as far as I'm concerned, all 14 teams are still in the picture.
Yeah.
But coming into this matchup, how do you see it going between Richmond Kickers and Hearts of Pine? Go ahead and take a stab at maybe a little score prediction, and certainly have some fun with
Oh
who's
man.
doing what, creativeness on the assist side of things, goal side of things, all that fun stuff. It's certainly why we do what we do with these podcasts. So we have a little fun. So bring some vibes, Yogi,
Oh man.
and let's have a little fun with this score prediction.
See now, if this was Walking 90, I would tell fans, be like, hey, this is a PD game. This is a professional development game. Go do something else. Go go enjoy your Saturday. But no,
Yes.
honestly, man, I think you just got two teams right now who are just floating, and
Yeah.
they're not. Obviously, Richmond is trending in one way, so there's holes in the ship. I
Yeah.
think Portland is plugging those holes with putty and being like, "Hey, we can stay afloat."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I look at this game and I react to the pull back the curtain. I think it could go one of two ways. One is Richmond leans in defensively and being like, "Look, we might not be able to create the chances needed to win this game, but if we can have a solid defensive performance, make sure James Stanton comes out clean in this game, that's a win, right?" And a win in a row would be great. Getting a draw and starting from there would be even better. I think Portland, on the other hand, the way how Portland seems to go is that react well is a little bit of reactionary where if the opposing team is up for it, no, I'm not gonna say up for it. If the opposing team makes a mistake, Portland is like, oh, we can jump on it, we can go.
Hmm.
But they're waiting for that mistake. They're waiting for that mistake. And if Richmond unfortunately this year has given teams mistakes to win, to score goals and create chances. So I really think like whenever that mistake comes, Richmond has to make sure they are able to snuff it out and eliminate it. If they can do that, they can come out this game with a draw, possibly even a win. Because I think there is chances to get in behind Portland. Because I think if Richmond can frustrate Portland off the ball and tell Portland, like, hey, you are going to have to break us down by stringing passes together. Like that 3-4, like, you have to put together 10, 15, even 20 passing sequences to break us down constantly. I think that's going to frustrate Portland. If Portland is able to, pretty much, I'll put it to you like this: Portland will score if they're able to do passing sequences under 8 passes. If it's under 8, they'll score. If it's over 8, Richmond got it. So,
Okay.
like, was saying that, I think I can see 1-1. I can see 1-1. Because it really is just really dependent on what Kickers team shows up on the road.
Sure.
That's what it really comes down to. Like, I think Portland's going to play that game regardless. I think they're going to try to play on the wings. They're going to try to spread you out, but then in the mix of that, they're also going to try to like be comfortable. Like if they're not going to press if they don't need to. Like, they'll press when they need to. And Richmond is just all about eliminating the mistake when it shows up. And if they can do that, they can get the draw and then move on to one knocks and do the same thing. That's really what it comes down to.
Who's putting it in the back of the net for Richmond, and how does it happen?
Oh,
How does it happen?
oh my god. You know what? It'd probably be Josh Kirkland. I can see him because he's been a little approacher in the box recently, off of some long balls. So I think if he's able to win a knockdown and lay the ball off to someone and then get in the box and kind of get a cheeky tap in from there, I think that's the way how to score it. I could also see Chandler Dwyer, who we call him Mr. or everything because he really doesn't have a position. Maybe on a set piece here or there because he is dangerous off of those. He might be able to get one. For Portland, it's probably going to be Ollie Wright.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
He's going to catch. I hate to say it. He's going to catch our defense. They're a little bit flat of feet,
Okay.
off guard, and he's going to be able to get in behind and tuck one behind Stetton. So that's what I said. It'll be 1-1, and can Richmond avoid the snowball effect from
Yeah.
then on.
Yeah, I got you. All right. So for my side of things, I hate this is the part of the show that it's like I hate the
This is why I
most.
don't do these. You're never going to be right. You're never going to be right.
But we try to have some fun with it, and I've done things in the past of red cards and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff, and just whatever, right? Like just have some fun with it, right? And sometimes you're like miles off, and sometimes like last one, I had a 1-0 score line against One Knox, which that's what it was. You're just reversed, right?
Reverse
So
it. The other way around.
you
How it
know, some,
goes.
sometimes you just you get to understand how teams are playing, and the front end of the year, it's kind of totally a crapshoot because you're still learning how teams are going to play, right? So
Yeah, for real.
now we're getting into the second half of the season where at least we have a general understanding of how they're going to play, anyways. Um, so yeah,
That's
the heart,
always the fun part. That's why I always laugh at the preseason power polls.
yeah,
It's just like, y'all, like, this is Division 3 soccer. None of us has seen any of these guys.
you might as well draw them
How
out
are
of a
we,
hat.
how are we powering? Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
That's a whole different story for a whole different day.
you might as well draw them out of a hat. You're going to have the same predictability on the front end of
Right.
things. But okay, so for the Hearts, the first week that we had any real amount of home games here at Fitzpatrick Stadium, at the first week of July, our first home match was in May, right? But it was like we had a home match, and then like the next three were on the road, that type of thing. Since
Mm-hmm.
since July, we've really started to stack up home games now, and we'll continue to do so until the end of the year, right? So the first week of July, we kind of tripped over tripped over the rug, as I've been calling it as of late, and we only got 1 point out of two matches at home. So a big no-no if you want to do something in the league is not dropping a bunch of points at home. But the week
Yeah.
following, we ended up getting 7 points out of 3 matches, and it's like, all right, here we go. All right, this is what we need to do, right? So if we're going to continue that momentum and try to jump back up into the top 8, we're going to need 3 points from this game, is what we're looking for, right? Um, so it's going to be a winning score line. The question is, what's the score line going to be? I'm going to give you the classic 2-1 estimate that everyone likes to go with when they're trying to grab a good score line. Um, Richmond Kickers is gonna go ahead and get one on the turnover in midfield, and you're gonna have Sean Vidberg trying to stop the advance, which actually, believe it or not, he's actually pretty good at doing most of the time. But I think you're gonna get one around him, and that's how you're gonna get on the scoreboard with your goal.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to say that you are correct, and that we're actually going to finally get off the snide on these corners. I don't know who the heck is going to put it in the back of the net. It's probably going to be some scrum in the box, and it's going to be just some sort of scruffy like toe poke that's going to go in the back of the net, and you could be any number of Hearts individuals. They're going to go ahead and put this in. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's going to be Mikey Lopez that finally hits it from the top of the 6, and it goes in the back of the net, and it just barely qualifies as a goal on a corner kick. And then I think Titus Washington is going to actually get one on a counter attack, which is typically how the Hearts usually like trying to score their goals in the first place. They usually like to try to do the counter attack thing. Um, so I think he'll be running off of my shoulder, and he's going to get a ball in over the top from MPA,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
and he's going to go ahead and maybe a couple of touches, maybe. In the last not one Knoxville matchup, but it was I forget the team that we played against, but both goals
Hmm.
from Ollie Wright and um, Titus were both one-touch finishes. So I'm going to say Titus gets the ball over the top, runs onto the ball, and it's a one-touch finish for the winning goal. 2-1 Hearts. Um, that's
I
my
hope not,
that's my
because I
score
don't need
line.
any more for that podcast.
That's my score line. So Yogi, kind of wrapping things up.
Yeah.
Certainly enjoyed my time with you, kind of running through the whole deal. Went a little bit long, but sometimes that's kind of what we do when we get jabbing about some of this stuff.
Yeah, man. That's the
But
fun part.
certainly would like to certainly give you the opportunity. Anything you want to know about the Hearts, questions you got for me, comments of any kind. Certainly want to give you the space to do just that if you have any.
No, man, it's really not a question or anything like that. I just want to give you guys a bunch of credit, man, because you guys have, um, just the whole community. Like I've watched the Drogo United videos about how the club got started, and I've been watching the podcast, and man, just the level of excellence and brilliance you guys bring to those shows is fantastic. And like you said, like this is year one.
Yep.
Like it's easy to get started, easy to do what it's due. It's tough to
Yeah.
do it when you go into the middles of those losing streaks and when things are really tough and you're like, I mean, I'm going through it right now. Like,
Yeah.
what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk about the game.
Yeah.
But you guys do a fantastic job of just, being immersive and trying to bring everyone in, man. Just continue to do that. Like, just, you know, it, I say this to anyone. Like, if you're not willing to learn, there's no point in you doing it. You always have to be willing to challenge yourself and learn something new. So, what you guys are building up there and doing, not even on the field, because we have no ultimate control of that, but, in the supporters group and even on your podcast, man, just continue to do it. Just continue to grow. And I'm just really happy to see that there are team podcasts, team dedicated podcasts, because I've been doing this since 2019, man. And there was a point in time where there was like three of us,
Mm.
and
It was tough
um,
sledding there for a while.
yeah, and to see it now, man, it's fantastic, dude. I can't be more happier for this for y'all.
Thank you for the advice there, Yogi. And we're certainly going to keep on trying to keep on keeping on, even through the tough times. On the front end of this thing, we're trying to let everyone know that hey, buckle up, guys. This might not be pretty. Everyone was high on the the jersey reveal and all the new signings and all that sort of stuff and. Everything was going to be rosy. It's like, guys, this is soccer. This we might
Yeah,
nose we might nosedive real quick, but you got to be
yeah,
here for the long run, and that's certainly your point. Is you got to be here for all the good and the bad and the in betweens, and trying to get back up on your feet and that sort of stuff. And such is life, and such is soccer.
right.
And same, right? So. Yogi, where can we find you? We certainly want to make sure to give you an opportunity for your socials and your podcast. Please feel free to plug away.
Yeah. So I'll let everyone know. You can follow me on Blue Sky on Instagram. You can follow the River City 90. Just type in River City 93 on those platforms. If you want to follow Walking 90, IG, YouTube, or Instagram, it's walking90.com. That's more of a league wide view where we, have a little fun, joke around, and whatnot. We love to be interacting with people that way. And then me personally, you can just type in that guy Yogi. A black guy will pop up in the profile picture. That's probably me. So yeah, you can follow me there, man. And yeah, once again, man, thank you for the opportunity to do this show with you. It was great to learn more about Portland Hearts and Pod. And we got some big games coming up between the two clubs. Obviously August 9th, and then the September matchup, which is going to be on TV on a Wednesday, which is so weird. So,
It's another one of those USL League One weird things.
yep. Yep. Sure is. This is the league of weirdness.
All right, Yogi. So I certainly want to thank you for your time. And if you can't be there in Fitzpatrick Stadium and watching it live, then certainly you want to plug into ESPN Plus Saturday, August 9th, 5
Mm-hmm.
p.m. kickoff time, where the number 9 Hearts of Pine is going to host the number 11 Richmond Kickers, fighting for 3 points, a very valuable 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
To move up into a playoff position that we both certainly very much want to be in.
We hope so. We hope so.
Yo, Yogi, certainly appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man. As always.